Hello everyone, Radish for DLC here, and as you can see, I am finishing up some of my grinding for co-op quests, and as a new player, or more of a returning player, newish slash returning player, I have some thoughts about this mode. First and foremost, I think the rewards overall aren't bad for a new slash returning player. I want to specify that. I think for any person who's been playing this game for adequate amount of time, you really don't need most of the items or rewards you're going to be getting. So you might be saying like, okay, so that doesn't seem too bad. But the problem with this mode is this mode heavily favors those who have a well-established box over new players. So when this event, which the newer players are going to struggle with, are going to benefit the most from, versus the old established veteran players that really this mode does not offer much rewards for, it kind of creates this really bad situation regarding this mode. And that's not even talking about the mode itself and its performance. This mode does not perform well. Does not perform well. It's very tedious. It's not fun at all. I think the concept of the mode itself is not bad, but from my understanding, this mode hasn't really seen a big update in a while. So if that's the case, you definitely feel it. Just like, if I could recommend just some quick changes, one, I don't really like the idea where there's multiple enemies chances you can get during one of any stages, from like Apprentice to King of Pirate, because it just makes it that sometimes you build a team for, let's say, 5 of the 6 fights, you get to the 6th fight, and let's say you and your teammate are not prepared for it. That's it. Your run is over. And obviously a lot of the other issues is just basic connection issues. A lot of times I've lost games just because the game just disconnects us. At the end of the day, yeah, this mode is definitely not optimized. And I don't think you're gonna find anyone really arguing for that. For me as a new player, one thing that was kind of disappointing was when I first saw this, I saw the Grand Fest, Sugo Fest, and the idea that you could just grind to get a free in-game currency and you could just summon away and get free characters. That sounded amazing until I looked at it and realized you're only able to keep 5 of the multis you do. So already for a newer player, that kind of sucks. Like, it's still free characters, but it definitely sucks that you're kind of limited to only keeping 5 of your pulls. And again, this only really benefits on newer players because the list of characters is definitely not updated, where I think the list of characters is a year behind. But 2, it also, like, even let's say, like, as a newer player like me, I benefit the most because I'm missing a lot of these Sugafest characters, which is great. But at the same time, a lot of the Sugafest characters are not particularly good outside of like very niche things. Like Int Rayleigh is on here. Not a great character outside of the support, but it's 90%, like I would say 70% of the legends that are on the Sugafest kind of fall into that. And it's really hard to recommend playing this mode, and you probably will see too. It's also dependent on your luck, and luck as a mechanic in this game I do not like at all. This is artificial padding, and as you see, your Grand Fest stones is dependent on your luck. I got a 160 bonus, and again, luck is a mechanic that is like, it's not fun, it's not well designed. It is, and the problem is too, it only affects one mode. But here, let me see if I can pull up my Sugafest. So when I first went to the screen, I was very excited at the idea of like, I could just summon away and get a ton of characters. Even if some of these characters are pretty old and not that great, it's just good for me to get them on my account. But considering we only could get 5 characters, this stock list pretty much forces you to try to get characters that are going to give you the most points to rank high to get better rewards, which is by itself not bad, but it does kind of means you kind of want to get a lot of dupes of the Grand Fest characters. So for someone who's a newer player, it's nice to get one copy of them, but I don't need like all these copies of, you know, Bonnie. Like Bonnie is a great character, but as a new player, I much rather replace some of these characters from a new legend like Lol Beppo or maybe Quick Momo. So definitely one of those things that I feel like this mode definitely just needs a big update. I think it definitely needs a big update. I think they need to drop us more currency just to increase the basic aspects of like luck, so you could upgrade your character's luck. And also another big thing I'm not a big fan of, Koa Captains. Koa Captains inherently, like, the only value they provide for this mode is luck. And the problem is the way the Koa Captain system set up is basically the character you have as your Koa Captain, they kind of lose their uniqueness as characters for their captain, and they also lose their special to just have a generic special that do damage, and I believe most of them just reduces charge time by 2. But yeah, like, it creates this scenario that, like, as a new player, when you start doing it, you might think like, oh, I want to increase the luck of my favorite character to 100. It's like, no, you want to actually increase the character that you don't care for and just have a ton of copies for, because the Koa Captain, they don't have their special abilities anymore. So like Luffy, Bonnie as a Koa Captain do not have their normal special anymore, or their normal captain outside of until you like basically awaken them by using Sugo Rare Int manuals, friendship. And it's like, these items are way better. It's way better for a newer player to use them for not co-op, versus for characters. Using your Sugo Rare Int manuals, or your manuals overall, your friendship for characters outside of co-op, you're getting more value at the end of the day than just doing it for this one mode that you have to consistently rank high consistently to get good rewards. Yeah, I just don't like it. And then I guess the last thing is I don't really like how Infidum C is designed as a fight. I don't think it's particularly super hard, but I just do not like how it's designed. I also do not like how the PKA does not give you as many stones as any of them as these, which is kind of funny for me. Like, I kind of wish like times level 150 should have been like ×4, and then times 100 should be ×2 or ×3. But yeah, it's just like, even when they say, oh, this is easier, that's why, but it's just like, this is a very tedious and honestly just not a fun mode to play, that I don't see the idea. Like, there has to be an incentive for someone to play this mode, and if the rewards are not good enough, why are people not going to play? Like, and I've been seeing a lot of big time players of this game just they do the bare minimum. They don't even do some of the missions. They might do their dailies and that's it. Yeah, so definitely a mode that I was excited for, but seeing how it is in game, I am very disappointed. But I'm hoping maybe this year, considering that it seems like this is a year they're planning to do some updates in the game, that they touch this mode up and fix it. Because I think the mode inherently, the idea of playing with your friends to do events is pretty cool, honestly. Now, one thing they could potentially do, which would definitely kind of be taking some inspiration from Dokkan. Dokkan has something called Burst Mode, which is basically you could go to a old Dokkan event, which is very basic events that you could beat them easily, but you could add modifiers to make them harder and more challenging. If they do something that they can choose, like, let's go, like, they choose a very basic, like an easy clash stage, and then they put it in this mode, and you could invite friends or create lobbies to do the mode, but you have modifiers so you can make it harder. So you could either do it like how normal co-op is in the game right now, that you take turns, you know, one player does the odd number of turns, the other player do the even turns. or you could do it that as a race that like both players start at the same time and are racing through the content with the modifiers to see who could win first. Again, like I think the core concept of co-op is like a cool concept. It's very basic, but it just needs some more time in the oven. That's all I believe. But anyway, that's my opinion. Tell me how your co-op quest grind went. This video is most likely gonna go live after co-op quest is done. As you can see, I have 2 hours left trying to do my last minute grinding. This has not been a fun experience. But yeah, tell me how you guys co-op quest grind is going, and tell me if you guys have any changes for this mode, what they will be. But that's gonna be it for me, guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful day.